A lot of senior Republicans over the past few weeks have been sharing doctored and manipulated videos on social media. Now, the Trump campaign and Trump supporters will often say these videos are clearly jokes. They are memes, people know they're memes, people know they're fake.
When they say, well, this is fact-checked, it's wrong because it's taken out of context. Like when Joe Biden fell asleep during a live interview on television.
Claimed that he fell asleep. I think that was an edited one, right?
I didn't think it was. It looked pretty live to me with no cuts in it.
Is this the video that you were talking about?
Could be, yeah.
Biden falling asleep.
Should I watch it really quick?
Sure. So
this is Washington Post.
So an article there is saying that it was faked, but it looked real, right? I mean, it looked real.
Well, I mean, I definitely wouldn't doubt that it would happen.
Even if it is fake, does it change your opinion of Biden?
God, no. You got to sift through it. I missed that one, but it was a good laugh.
You can see the shock in his face when he realizes that he's been had, and it's honestly a horrible feeling. It's not comfortable to find out that you're wrong, especially on camera, but this is so much bigger than some odd Trump supporter being fact-checked. The RNC released an ad showing a dystopian world in which Joe Biden wins the election and everything burns. And it's very obviously AI generated, and there's nothing behind the claims being made, but that is what the RNC chose to use to kick off Trump's campaign. They have 100% fully committed to the bit. And if they're willing to lie about winning an election that they lost, we shouldn't be surprised that they're willing to lie to win the next election.
We can now call the 2024 presidential race for Joe Biden.
My fellow Americans.
This morning, an emboldened China invades Taiwan.
Financial markets are in free fall as 500 regional banks have shuttered their doors. Border agents were overrun by a surge of 80,000 illegals yesterday evening.
Officials closed the city of San Francisco this morning, citing the escalating crime and fentanyl crisis. Who's in charge here? It feels like the train is coming off the tracks.
Putin is actually trying to do a good thing. He's trying to rid the Nazis out of Ukraine.
The Nazis?
Yeah. The two areas that became independent, they were actually free of them. And he wanted to recognize them. And, of course, I'm not going to say who's responsible for it, but I think a lot of people know they didn't want to see that go any farther. You know, this is getting out of our control now. We had all of Ukraine, and, you know, we've already lost these two areas.
So who do you think's responsible?
For what?
For the war.
The West.
But even though it was Putin who went in and you know, just devastated that part of the...
I think he just said, guess what? Ukraine people are Russians, or they come from Russian heritage. Do you think he just decided one day, I'm just going to go take Ukraine over and kill lots of people because Russia's money hungry? They're independent of a lot of things. They don't need Ukraine. You know what I mean? Does it really make any sense? I'm going to start World War III. Why would they do that?
Well, somebody started World War II.
Well, I don't trust the vaccination because it's all, you know, you can't even sue them, and you don't know what Fauci really did. He was connected with that Wuhan thing. So, you know, it's all lies.
But even though it was the Trump administration that funded the vaccines and got so many of them out there?
Yes.
So even though Donald Trump was behind the vaccines, and many people credit him with saving the country in that way, you don't think, you still think it was wrong?
Yes.
Do you think kids should have to be vaccinated to go to school?
No.
At all?
No. I mean, I've never got the flu shot because it's a different strain every year.
Well, what about polio and rubella and mumps and all of that?
I don't know.
Children had to have them to go to school, so, but I knew nothing about them. You know, I've been doing a lot of studying.
We've never seen that it was bad over here. We just know of what we heard.
He didn't lose it. It was rigged. It was real obvious. I mean, there's video after video of them refeeding ballots into machines. They blocked all the windows and threw out all of the conservative poll watchers. I mean, it was as blatant as could be.
But over 70 courts disagree with that take on it.
No, the
And
courts never actually not voted. My head's a little funny. Ruled on that. Thank you. As far as I know, no court ever actually ruled.
State courts and
they wouldn't even hear our side of it.
The scary thing is that it works. Trump's whole campaign is based on lies, as his entire life has been based on lies. He isn't the incredible businessman that he presented himself as on The Apprentice. He isn't an international playboy who enjoys the finer things in life. He's a bragging, repeat sexual assaulter who seems to live almost exclusively on Big Macs and Diet Coke. And while it shouldn't need to be fact-checked, but he isn't an athlete. Despite claims to the contrary, he's at best a mediocre golfer who routinely cheats and lies and gives himself awards and trophies from his own golf courses. In every country other than America, and maybe Russia lately, he is a laughingstock. And none of this is new. He's been a self-promoting blowhard who can't back up his own hype for decades. But the part of it that, at the end of the day, is the hardest, at least for me to swallow, is that despite all of this being transparent, fully visible, for years, there are millions of Americans who choose to accept the lie. They find the lie more comfortable, more palatable than the truth.